The form team of the competition, the Eagles, come to Unley Oval this afternoon to take on the Double Blues. The Eagles have won 9 in a row. On the other hand, well, Sturt's been up and down, haven't they? They beat Central District a couple of weeks ago and then, I guess, in some ways unexpectedly lost to North Adelaide last weekend to undo all that good work in beating the Bulldogs. It is Sturt hosting the Eagles this afternoon in round 12 SANFL action. Two of the form teams in the competition. It is a wet and windy day for football here at Unley, one of the traditional grounds turned into a park and then back into a football ground every time the Double Blues play here. And, well, it's conditions that I guess everybody's rugged up for. I know Mark Soderstrom's looking forward to a bit of rain and bad weather on the sideline. Ben Knights is actually just looking forward to being warm up here in the commentary box and enjoying this afternoon's game.
Thanks, Neil. Yeah, it is a real mid-winter's day here at Unley Oval. Two great teams, two teams doing well, looking to really cement their spot, push for the finals 5 for Sturt, and the Eagles cementing that spot on top of the ladder, and it should be a great game.
Well, you mentioned the Eagles. Look at this for a winning streak. We know that their all-time record is 13 in a row between, as you see there, 1993-94. But in terms of a single season, they are now in a record-breaking mode at 9 in a row this season. They've dropped their first game of the year, and now they've won 9 in a row.
Going along very nicely, and like I said before, trying to cement that spot on the top of the ladder, stay that 1, maybe 2 games clear of Central Districts, and you know, they are looking really good at the moment. Ron Fuller, their coach, should be very happy.
And I spoke to John Catalaftis, actually, the Eagles general manager, just about the feelings around the club. Let's hear what he had to say. Well, John, going for 10 in a row this afternoon, what's the feeling been like around the club? Are you invincible?
No club's invincible, but certainly the last 9 games have sort of snuck up on us. We knew it was coming up after we equalled the record, and it really didn't dawn on us until after presentations on last Saturday night, when we had 9 in a row and we'd broken the record for any one season. So,
well, 9 in a row, it's quite an achievement, and I guess the start of the season you lose your first game, you wouldn't have thought that this was coming.
No, I mean, you never bank on winning 9 or 10 in a row, but I must say it's a credit to the group because they are a fairly strong group and they get together well, and they are a mentally tough group this year, that's for sure.
And just quickly, the hype around the club doesn't quite seem to be there, but I'm sure everybody's excited by the performance.
Oh, look, we're all excited about where we are midway through the season, but we've played in 2 grand finals in 2000, 2001 and lost them, so there's a long way to go yet, and we're still keeping our focus on the games to come.
He's a lucky man, John Catalaftis. It was sunshine then, it's a little bit overcast and cloudy now. Look, we're about to introduce another new segment to our SANFL coverage. Michael Manny, the man behind the voice that you've heard recently, but now he's out in front of the camera. He's going to have a look at the week that was.
Thanks, Neil. Well, this time last year in SANFL ranks, all the talk was about West Adelaide, who were on the verge of winning 10 games in a row. A big, long winning streak. Not so this year with the Woodville West Torrens side under the guidance of Ron Fuller. The quiet achievers, they've gone about their performances this year with clinical precision. Ron Fuller, well, a quiet achiever himself, he would prefer it that way. He is on the verge also of winning his 50th game as leader and coach of Woodville West Torrens. A great effort. With a 63% record, he may enhance that today. Up against Sturt, a bit of an enigma. I think that the Eagles will probably get home. That's my view. I'm Michael Maney.
It'll be very interesting this afternoon because, of course, the Eagles are playing at Sturt's home ground, and Sturt have one of the best records for a home side in the past 3 years in the SANFL. We look at the premiership table right now, and there are the Eagles sitting up there on that perch high at the moment.
Like I said, trying to today stay that 1 game clear, maybe 2 games if Central's drop a game today against Westies, whereas Sturt right in the mix at the moment. Sturt, West, North all on 5 games, South on 4, and Sturt will be looking forward, or looking to hopefully push that 1 game clear.
Just a quick look down the leading goal kickers. Mark Passador is injured at the moment, particularly concerned about Vinny Rugolo, I should say, coming up behind him, only 2 goals behind. Rugolo has promised to be the leading goal kicker for the Eagles this season. Of course, Brant Chambers is up there for Sturt. And as we look ahead to the games this afternoon, of course, our match is Sturt Eagles, but Port Adelaide's won 13 of their past 15 over North Adelaide. Central District has won their past 3 over Westies. And it's been 3 years since South Adelaide managed to win down at the Bay. Well, for the match this afternoon, and their head-to-head is very much in favour of the Eagles since, of course, they combined Woodville and West Torrens in '91.
As you would expect, a bit closer lately, even though the Eagles have themselves won 3 out of the last 4 against Sturt.
And you mentioned recently pretty close, 3 goals or thereabouts, the Eagles earlier this season at Woodville Oval getting over Sturt, and it is a surprise in many ways that the Eagles have performed so well this season.
It is, but look, they've got a lot of confidence in themselves, quiet confidence, and they're looking forward to a very strong finish to this season, and hopefully looking towards a perhaps premiership.
Well, looking forward to wind, rain and anything else can be thrown at him as Mark Soderstrom is on the boundary. Soderstrom, it's great weather, isn't it?
Oh, it is absolutely fantastic. Good afternoon, everyone. Well, the big news for the Double Blues is the late withdrawal of skipper Ben Nelson with a back complaint. He'll be replaced by Michael Code, and joining him on the sidelines is Matthew Powell and also Damien Squire, 2 very decorated players, 429 league games, 2 Magarey medals, 2 premiership medals and a Jack Oatey medal between them, so they will be very sorely missed. On a positive note, a debut will be made by Kane McLean and also Adrian Burton after 8 years at the club.
Yeah, 8 long years and a lot of injuries for Adrian Burton at Sturt. We see there the lineup, and interesting, look, the back line is a little bit of a problem area, you would think.
It is. I mean, a lot of relatively inexperienced players there, but hopefully, you know, Sturt will be looking for their on-ballers to get a lot of the football. They've got a very strong, experienced brigade on ball today.
And so does, in terms of the Eagles, what are they doing this afternoon? They've got their problems with injury as well.
No doubt about that. The form side of the competition will be missing Fergus Watts, who's gone to the Crows. Also Dale Ellis with a knee complaint, which leaves a gaping hole in their attack. Last week, Sammy Filippo was sensational with his 6 goals, and they're going to need him to fire today if the Eagles are going to be able to kick a score big enough to defeat the Blues.
And just a quick look through the Eagles lineup.
There it is. We see our very, very strong on-board brigade that the Eagles have put together this year with their recruit, Lukey Toya, coming from Subiaco, Sikalella, McKenzie playing well, and their rucks in Lindsay and O'Hara going extremely well and working as a great combination.
Just about set for a start. The opening bounce just about underway. Here's Michael Maney.
Thank you, gentlemen. Round 12 of SANFL football underway. Oliver against Lindsay, just threw the boots into him. A secondary bounce, as we see so often. Vital game for the Double Blues to win this afternoon on their home ground. Umpires will throw the ball up all day, and that is the new rule. And another bounce, so a couple of early, well, it won't be bounces, a couple of early ball ups as Daniel Wicks will be important for the Double Blues today. Well done, Westbrook. Curtis couldn't get through. Plenty of pressure on early. Hard physical. Whiteman went in. And Vinnie Regolo. And there's young McClay, I think it is, the 18-year-old. James McClay has been in good form. Toya just jammed it on the boot. Thumped away. Well done by Curtis. Ball to be won. Jarvis just took it to the line. Let's go down to Mark Soderstrom. What's the weather like?
Well, Michael, we know it's going to be cold, wet and rainy, a top of 13 degrees, and there is a big breeze at the moment, and it will favour the team kicking to the left of screen. The centre of the ground is a little bit muddy, so are the wings and the pockets, but through the middle should be okay. We
can't mention brand names on the ABC, but top of the range gummies down there for Mark Soderstrom. Another ball up. Very heavy conditions this afternoon, Ben.
Oh, you certainly expect to be very congested and a tight start in this muddy condition.
Whiteman tries to go for the line and does succeed. Matthew Stokes, who we saw last week, dislocate that thumb. He's back into the side.
There'll be a lot of this today, Michael. I'd expect a lot of ball ins, ball ups and throw ins, and just really, really in tight. What on-ball grade can get their hands on the football the most will probably come out today.
Well, Lindsay just dropped it down. Through the pack came Sheedy briefly. Toya's been prominent early, at least in terms of touches, but not actually clearances. A little bit of push and shove as we see Gavin Colville wrapping up Matthew Cooper. Umpire, meanwhile, throws the ball up. There's the value of that. Whiteman, inside forward 50. And Sikalella, very clever across half-back this season. He's playing well. Sikalella looks to spread it to the far side of the ground. On the lead. Dropped. Sturt with another opportunity. Pearce off the left foot. Good skills. Good turn and a good kick. Down towards half-forward. Sturt, well done. Richardson. Another youngster for Sturt. Just centres up the ball to the long-kicking Cooper. quickly tries to get back and drops it into the fat side. They've got 2-on-1 there, but the Eagles come away with the ball with a thump clear. Wicks a chance to show his pace. Steadies now back inside 50 with the kick. Not the greatest of directions, but good enough to get it there at least. Here's Clun. Clun with the hand pass over the top. Opens it up slightly. That's in trouble. That's holding the ball. Sturt pinch straight away. Potter. And
James McLean there.
Going against McLean for Sturt.
Kick to the wing, ball knocked away, Oliver, chance for Whiteman. Whiteman short kick, couple of double blues there. Chambers went for it, no talk. Richardson could have taken the mark. Sikalella, he's tackled. Loose ball, Potter overran it. In goes the double blues. Surely a free kick, it'll come out. And we'll go to Adam Clun. And Adam Clun just copping one in the back from Joey Pedler. Looked like it was there, Ben.
Oh, certainly there. Just a little bit lazy with his tackling the footy there. Unlucky to, you know, plummet to ground, but unlucky to give away the free kick, but it's certainly there.
Adam Clun from 30 metres, directly in front. Tricky breeze. He hooked the kick and misses everything. Let's go back to that injury that Matthew Stokes copped last week, and running right into the goalpost. And that was a bad one, but he is in the side today. Good recovery by Matthew Stokes. Never had one of those, Ben?
Broken the thumbs, but never dislocated them. Fingers, different story.
Horrible looking thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, don't like that.
On the outer side, Powell's not going to be able to get this ball. That's Powell for the Eagles. Let's go to the Sturt bench and Mark Soderstrom.
Yeah, Simon Feast joined by the two debutants, Adrian Burton and former Rooster and Redleg Kane McLean.
I mean, it wasn't McLean that I called him before. Never mind. We'll go on with the game. Ball to be thrown in. Far side of the Unley Oval. Bit of a bog on this side. It looks a little bit clearer on that side of the ground, though. Sturt up towards the forward 50. Sikalella again with the clearance to Powell. Steps around nicely. And his kick to a 2-on-1. Two Sturt players. And the one going across there for the Eagles was King, the youngster, who's come into this side for Dale Ellis.
See the value in a long kick there today, using that breeze, putting it out into a bit of space, and the ball just skidding on, and it will continue to do that because this ground is not going to dry up.
No, it'll be sometime in September before this oval dries up, trust me. Ball back into play. Cooper comes across the front with a double fist, which didn't go too far for the double blues. Get another throw up. Watch how quickly this takes place now. It's the SANFL decision. They trialled it last weekend. They had a look at dispensing with the bounce, and that's what they've decided to do full time. Sturt comes away. Jarvis slips a hand pass to Pearce. Pearce looks inside, gets around his man so easily, and then the kick, well, wasn't the best, was it? Chambers gathers. Well done by the big guy. Hand pass off. Sturt looking to go forward to Wicks, but it was intercepted by Colville. Sikalella run down by Josh Richardson. That is holding the ball.
Didn't have quite as much time as he thought he did. Let's have a look at Sikalella getting chased here. Thought he was getting around, and a lovely tackle, good chase, and definitely holding the ball.
Richardson just pops it up inside 50, looking for White, or that man at the front in Chambers. So Brant Chambers came to the club from WA, but his family is back in Victoria. And I know they do have a look at the footy from time to time, and why not? This man knows how to kick a goal. That's put him off, hasn't it?
Well, we always say that.
Saw the last kick really dragged across, Neil, didn't we? So
I must say Clun sat back on his kick.
A lot more confident,
Chambers,
though.
Yes, Chambers well over the ball. Watch it come around. The umpire deliberates, and that's a goal. No. Minor score. So the double blues. First score of the afternoon. We see the rainbow into the neighbourhood in the background.
Brant Chambers opens up the scoring as McKenzie prepares, looks for Pedler. Good kick. Joe Pedler has been in and out of this Eagles lineup. Good defender though. Pretty hard nut. Kicks at the back. Lindsay couldn't take the mark. Fruin wants the line, and Westbrook takes it over. Bit of breeze going to left of screen, so the Eagles with that advantage. Boundary throw in. Oliver, you've got to get rid of it, and does. Another ball up. Westbrook on the bottom of that pack. Jade Sheedy, who's been in good form, the 2002 Magarey medalist. Lindsay got it down. Toya worked it to Mackenzie to Merriman, who kicks long at the back code. Beveridge, and the ball runs out of there. And of course, Dale Ellis missing from the side today. They've had to patch up their forward line, and this is how Dale Ellis was injured last week, just doing the knee in that piece of play, just driving it into the ground and giving it a bit of a twist, as you can see, in isolation. And he's going to miss around about 4 to 6 weeks, Dale Ellis. Bit disappointing for him, has been in good form. Let's go down to Mark Soderstrom. You've got the Eagles bench, Mark.
Yeah, John Floriani, Luke Spear, and also Peter Fiacci.
Ball, meanwhile, is at half forward for the Eagles. They're attacking to left of screen. Lindsay at the front. Just knocks it into his team's advantage. Sheedy, however, picks it up for the double blues. Pearce, he's done well early, and he was out of bounds there just before the kick. Josh Richardson will have to return that ball to the boundary umpire.
Like the look of Pearce so far, Neil. He's quite classy.
Yes, they've got a few young players that have come into this side. Pearce now just in his second match, an 18-year-old. Double Blues lead by just 1 point. You're not watching Euro soccer. This is real football. Wicks going back, couldn't take it. King came through. So did Whiteman. That was a throw, got away with it. Sturt moving the ball from the back as best they can. Finally, they break it into the open. Beveridge gets collected by Sikalala. Still, they force it forward, the Blues. Well done. The speech to Wicks, picks it up to Cooper. From 50 metres, Cooper drives long and astray and out on the full. I think I heard a clunk there. So, a clunk for Cooper, out on the full. Waiting on, not much room there to move for the Eagles defender and Pedler to try and kick the ball back in, and he's complaining to the umpire saying, "I've got no room, sir."
They normally move them back a little bit in that, don't they, Neil?
Not at Unley, apparently. It's a smaller ground, you get smaller room. Boutique ground, maybe. Ball kicked out long, outside 50, still got a long distance with it. Sheedy drives it back in for the double Blues. White in best position, push Pedler. Free kick to the Eagles, disappointed Unley faithful groan.
50-50.
Yeah, well, unlucky. Good use of the body, I would have thought.
Stokes to Inkster. Chambers just trying to crib on the mark. Good long kick by Inkster, just to a pack situation. Mackenzie came from nowhere. Just grabbed Beveridge. Regolo.
Good smother.
Westbrook, good smother by Code. Thumped on by Cooper. Taken by Whiteman, who's relishing his play in the midfield. Slung off the kick. Lindsay sold Merriman into trouble. Tried to go to Toya, but good work by Richardson, who's been prominent so far, the little man. And a good passage of play.
A couple of great tackles there. Look at this chase. That's real desperation football. A fantastic chase and a great pull down.
Stokes in hard. Umpire calls for it again.
You'd almost think that is the perfect holding the ball, wouldn't you? As we see the change going on there with Fiacci onto the ground.
Peter Fiacci coming on. And O'Hara, and a free kick for holding in the ruck contest to Lindsay, to Sikalala, to the fresh man in Fiacci. Just ducks it back inboard. That's a good kick, finds King. A couple of kicks out from goal, you'd think, but on the tail of the breeze, he might give it a long hoof. Goes to Filippo, who can't take the mark. Well done. That was Scott Toms who got it away. Ball just booted back by the double Blues toward the wing. Whiteman just kicks it toward the line. And the Unley faithful applaud Andrew Whiteman as he finds the line. Boundary throw in, 11 and a half gone. Just that one score the behind for the double Blues.
They did well there, Sturt, getting back and two on one with the full forward up there.
Lindsay down to Sikalala, but it's just going to be one of those days, I think. We're going to see the umpires doing plenty of the work in throwing the ball up. There's Justin Sikalala. Don't see him get caught too often. He did get caught a moment ago. Taken cleverly by Oliver, whose high kick to Merriman v Cooper. Well done, Merriman. To Powell. That's Luke Powell. Matthew Powell out of the Sturt side today. Taken by Fruin. Fruin kicks inside 50. At the back, it falls. It's taken by Jarvis, who gives it to Beveridge, and the double Blues are away.
Well, not quite. Beveridge's kick partially smothered. Now he'll get another opportunity as he backs up and gets a hand pass from Pearce. Now Sheedy. time to steady for Beveridge. Down towards half forward was a poor kick through and with the chest mark low down. Shares it quickly to Hall. Hall goes long back towards centre wing. Knocked down by Powell. Cicolella taken away from the ball. They scramble it forward through Westbrook. Curtis comes to meet it. The hand pass quickly to Jarvis. Takes his time. Finally gives it to Wicks. The speedster on centre wing pops it over the top. Into space was Oliver, and he takes the mark at centre half forward for the Double Blues.
Trying to milk it there for the 50, but it was a good dive.
Not Olympic class, but it was a good dive.
It was.
So here's Oliver, recruited from the St Kilda list this year, gets it up into full forward and coming around the pack so easily was Brant Chambers to have his second shot at goal for the afternoon. He has Sturt's only scorer behind.
Brant Chambers, like you mentioned before, from WA, a Subiaco boy as well. So Brant Chambers, Luke Toyer, opposition sides would have certainly played together in their junior football.
So Chambers to get us the first goal of the afternoon. Sodas, can you confirm that wind is coming from the right of screen?
Yeah, no doubt about that, Neil. Brant will be heading into a breeze. Obviously, the distance won't be a trouble, and either will the accuracy.
Bravely said. As soon as it went through the posts, accuracy not a problem. So Sturt get the first of the afternoon. First goal, that is. They lead by 7 points.
Have a look at the footy coming through the middle here. Fast movement, Wicks. Thought for a minute there he'd miss-kicked the ball, but had seen the big man and did well. The kick not quite making the distance into that wing that Sodas was talking about. And Chambers read it the best out of that pack of players and finished off well.
Quick change in the ruck for the Eagles. Brett O'Hara in and Paul Lindsay having a break.
Thanks, Mark. 27 goals for the year to Chambers. Back in the centre as we speak over that public address system, which is working beautifully. Taken by Cicolella, who kicks forward inside 50. Eagles need a goal. Double Blues work it out of half-back. Good work by Code. Beveridge on the end of a Curtis handball. Wobbly old ball. Well done, O'Hara. Oh, brilliant tackle by Cicolella on Wicks. Not rewarded. Ball held in.
Two speedsters, and what a fantastic tackle. Full stretch and well wrapped up.
O'Hara knocked it down. Cicolella and Wicks tangle again. Another ball up, 15 minutes gone. Sturt kicking against the breeze of a 7-point lead. They've moved the ball well. Colville shares it with Stokes, who kicks forward. Curtis there. Well trapped. Roberts also there. Curtis just paddling in front. He goes to Toyer. Toyer slips it on the right boot. Around the body for a goal. Eagles get one back.
Lucky Toyer loves that. There's a forward pocket roving. He loves that shot for goal and doesn't often miss when he's around like that. Have a look here at the crumb that Toyer picks up. Here it is. Turns, shakes the big foul from Sturt and finishes off beautifully around the body. Those long jumpers, aren't they bright?
Yeah, sunny disposition is not really here today at Unley, though, in terms of the weather, that's for sure. She is pretty cool. Here's Cicolella, clearance again. The hand pass was poor to Colville. Opportunity to go back and get it, then he overran it. McKenzie off the side of the boot, long. Jarvis underneath, or rather Curtis. Curtis for the Double Blues. Gee, changed his mind twice and in the end turned it over to Cicolella. Twists out of Sheedy's tackle, handballs it away, picks it up again. He's in trouble again and won't release it. The umpire will come in and call for the bounce. Sturt by a point.
Neil, I think Michael Curtis having a few problems there with his sight because during the week he actually had his eyebrows waxed. Maybe they're still a little inflamed.
Sodas. Very interesting details that we bring out on this show.
Sodas was in having his legs done.
Yes.
Time.
So about if we're going to be like that, Sodas, we'll mention your engagement a couple of days ago. Anyway, ball down into the forward 50 for the Double Blues. Cooper couldn't handle the ball, finally to ground.
Is that his waxing the engagement?
No. I understand that you didn't get engaged, Sodas. You've taken half a plunge towards maybe something bigger down the track.
Sorry, Neil, I think we're having audio problems here. I can't quite pick up what you're saying.
Congratulations to Irene and Mark. And it'll be a free kick there to Colville, holding the man. Eagles will take it. Oh, Craig Doddridge there. He's got a short option in Merriman. Merriman now with the mark, looks up, everybody pretty much guarded. He'll have to go down the line, you'd think. That's the way he goes. long and direct, looking for King in the middle of the pack. Oliver came over the top of the double blues. Rugolo couldn't get it. A little dogged player there, number 6, Weatherald, and the two boys just take a bath in the mud, and the umpire comes in and rules it's a free kick against Weatherald for too high. Don't know about that. Umpire Sam Hay stepping in, and Rugolo gets the free kick. I think they're boos rather than roos for Rugolo, the Eagles player. So the Eagles, with the advantage of the wind, they've had 18 minutes with it, and they haven't really done too well in the scoring department at this stage. Big punch in the middle of the pack. I think it was Roberts or maybe McClay. Good tackle by the double blues. O'Hara backwards towards Sikalala. In comes Weatherall. Another free kick against Weatherall.
Out the full.
Well, no, the umpire spotted it before that. Weatherall threw Sikalala to the ground after he disposed or lost the ball one way or the other. So 2 against Weatherall, and the Eagles go into attack. Phillippo at the back didn't get to it. He might now. Now Phillippo taken the ground. Double blues through Beveridge. That's out in the full. So Eagles will get another chance, and the highly skilled Sikalala will have another crack at maybe getting a shot on goal.
Could square it up here.
Chooses to indeed do that. Here's Mackenzie. Mackenzie, though, covered well. Double blues have plenty of players back. Phillippo is back in the goal square and looking for the lead. Comes now. The ball goes in long. Looking for Phillippo and O'Hara. Double blues, 3 men at the front. Punch it down. Wicks will go off the ground. Pearce in the bog, unable to get the ball out. Finally, it is out of bounds on the far side of the ground. The double blues lead by a point.
He's been
and we're just approaching
Pearce.
time on first quarter. Sorry about that. Go now, Ben.
Sorry, Neil. He has been very impressive, Pearce, there, and he's got, you know, quick hands and he's got a bit of speed.
He has too. Sikalala worked to the line by Burton. I think his first run. In fact, that's Inkster over there. And his dad, young Pearce's dad, is here watching today. As you would be if you could. All thumped away. Boggy down there, Scott Toms. Sikalala normally can weave a bit of magic. Found some space. Threw it on the boot. Just wobbling toward the boundary line. They'll throw it back in before McClay can get there. And there's his dad. Happy man. Watching on with anguish, I suppose. Watching his every move. Where's my boy? Well, he's done well so far. Mackenzie down. Speedy Stokes. Whiteman's got him collared. Umpire said, you dropped it. Muddy conditions as they tangle Whiteman and Stokes.
That should be 50.
Umpire may just give 50. No, he's let them go on with it. Jarvis out of his defensive 50. Out to the lumbering Code, who dives and takes a lovely mark in the conditions. Michael Code, the late replacement for Ben Nelson. Good stretch by Code. Lovely mark. He kicks to the wing, right in front of the broadcast position. In goes O'Hara. Tried to crash through a couple. Pedler knocked off the kick. Clun, think that ball might have been touched. Or was it? Richardson's got the mark. Feeds it off well to Clun. They've had trouble kicking from this pocket. Clun's got to try and sit it up. He does. Stephen White hoping for a mark. Just bumped it forward, hoping for a rogue. Whether it was there, ball booted off the ground. Merriman in the conditions. Might have got one high. Umpire said play it on. Here's Pearce. O'Hara takes a well-earned break. Pearce just feeds the handball off the double blues. Try to work it. Pearce dispossessed. Ball knocked to the line by Luke Toyer. Boundary throwing. Bit of work being done in there. Red O'Hara, a little bit of mud, maybe a bit of mud, bit of blood in the nose. The big men will still be important today. Lindsay knocks it close to the line. And the throw in, 22 minutes gone. 7 plays 6 and a cut over the left eye, you would think. Mark, you normally, if you haven't got stuck in the mud down there, Mark Soderstrom, is something wrong with his eye?
Yeah, certainly is, Neil. He did have a little bit of blood, but the Eagles opted, instead of going through a blood rule, they just had a normal interchange, so O'Hara will be patched up. Maybe the staple gun might come out to put it back together.
As long as it's not the nail gun, that could cause some problems. Anyway, ball on the far side of the ground at Unley Oval, where we've got some real football this afternoon. There's actually mud on the ground. This side's getting a bit dirty. Toya tried to kick it out of there. Well done. Had the presence of mind to kick it across to Mackenzie, and then they couldn't get it forward. Now it'll be Toya, and he will get it forward because he'll get a free kick. Off the ball, Whiteman and Lindsay having a bit of a clash. In fact, White copping one from Lindsay, and Oliver, in fact, it was copping one from Lindsay off the ball. A little bit of push and shove went on with Andrew Whiteman, and then Oliver bumped Lindsay, and Lindsay gave him a whack with the left hand. So that's why the free kick has been reversed, and now Cooper goes inside forward 50, looking for White and or the other target in Chambers. It's punched out of bounds by the Eagles defenders, though. No doubt about it. Unley Oval, that's the good part of the Oval at the moment. As you can see, there's been plenty of rain overnight in Adelaide, for those of you watching outside the metropolitan area. Double Blues lead by a point. As you said, they're kicking into the breeze. Chambers with the only score. Well, the only scores, in fact, for the Double Blues, but he kicked the only goal at the 14-minute mark. We'll get another throw up here. A lot of players around the ball, as you'd expect. Oh, should have been a free kick. I thought to Lindsay. He gives away a lot. He doesn't get many. Ball out of bounds again on the far side of the oval. Double Blues showing good strength in close, and Ben, they're not wasting handballs or trying to do handballs like you have seen the Double Blues tend to do in these situations before.
No, they're holding on to it as much as they can at the moment, and that's what they need to do. They just need to hold on to the footy, try and work it forward, push it forward any way they can.
Just the 1 point the difference. Quarter won't go too long, you wouldn't suggest, with just the 2 goals kicked so far in this term. And a free kick will go to Justin Sikalella. And there's O'Hara, just getting the brush down. Bit of patchwork on that top of that eye.
11 possessions to Sikalella.
Has done well, thanks, Moggy. Taken by Pearce, electrifying pace. Curtis sits well for him. A couple of handballs too many. You think Jarvis couldn't get on the end of it. Well done by King. And tell you what, he wants to stay in this side. Brugalo kicks it inside 50. McClay there, or is it Code? Dives on the football. Beveridge out of half-back, good handball, sets up Weeks if he can get it to sit. Stokes closes him down. Beveridge tackled by Westbrook, who does the 1%ers. Richardson tackled to the ground by Fiacci. Brugalo just paddles in front, knocked it clear. Mackenzie, quick hands. Inkster, high kick, hoping for a mark. Filippo at the back, all knocked away. Jarvis front and square. His half-distance kick should be kicked off the ground. Around the corner, I think it's a goal. Great work by Filippo, and the Eagles get their second. Well, that was a messy bit of play, just like the ground and the pocket down there. But Sam Filippo with his left foot, Ben.
That is scrappy, wet weather, midwinter football at its best. That's just continuous pressure from Sturt, defence, and then Eagles' perseverance, resulting in that snap. And look, that's what we're just going to see so much of today. Boys working hard. Sorry,
Sam Filippo certainly knows where the goals are. 15 goals 2 this season.
Doesn't mind a goal at all.
So there's just a quick question. Seems to be getting a bit colder and a huge black cloud coming over. Am I right?
Certainly is, Neil. The rain has just started about 20 seconds ago, and I think probably in about 5 or 10 minutes it should be a heavy downfall.
Look forward to that one.
I can't wait.
Very warm up here, Sodas.
I bet it is.
Here's Whiteman for Sturt with a hand pass unnecessarily. Now they work it from the back. Gee, that's sloppy from Sturt. I just complimented them before for not using too many hand passes, and they turned it over to the back. Whiteman off the ground, couldn't get it forward. Now Toya. And they work it forward to Rugalo from Fiacci. Rugalo inside forward 50. Beveridge got a hands to the ball for Sturt. Finally to Curtis. That was a good hand pass. Pierce the wingman. Off he goes with another hand pass to his fellow wingman in Wicks. And they work it from the back. Now the open territory for the kick from Sheedy. Down to centre half forward looking for Chambers. The punch came. Potter was at the front for the Eagles. We'll get another throw up. Spoke of that big dark cloud. There's a look over the back of the grandstands here at Unley as a bounce down, or a throw up rather. You've got to get used to saying that. We'll get another one right now. We'll talk to the umpiring director, Shane Harris, at quarter time, just about that particular subject, the bounce and why it was taken out of SANFL football. Lindsay, just a quick kick away. Powell taken to ground by Pearce eventually. Another ball down, slightly to Sturt's end of the centre square. Oliver and Lindsay go at it again. Oliver that time palms it down. Pearce couldn't get away with the pace. The siren goes in the background. Fairly short quarter, 27 minutes and 48 seconds, and the reason would be the score. If you look at that, the Eagles 2 goals straight, and Sturt 1-1-7 at quarter time. It's a 5-point lead for the Eagles.
Well, exactly the football we expected. It's going to be tight, in close. Probably 5 or 6 or maybe 7 goals might win it for you today on a day like this. And like we said, there's a bit of rain on the way. The Eagles have been good. They've been persistent. They struggled to get on the scoreboard to start with, but have now got their 5 points, got their nose in front. See the goal kickers there. 2 for the Eagles in Toya and Philippo, and just the 1 early from Brant Chambers for Sturt. Have a look at the stats to date. You'd expect them to be reasonably close together. The handballs, Sturt have had a few more handballs than the Eagles, but pretty close in the kicks, and like we said, just not much difference between the inside 50s, Neil.
No, and of course not much difference in the scores either. The Eagles have only kicked those 2 goals with the breeze, as we said, and 1-1 to Sturt. Well, we mentioned in the call about the ball up and the decision by the SANFL to go with ball ups rather than to continue with the bounce. I guess the bounce would have been awkward today anyway.
Tough.
Yes, but Nipper Christie from ABC TV News, and Radio News at least, spoke to Shane Harris just about the ball up situation this week.
The feedback from the clubs has been fantastic. It's been pretty positive, and viewing the tapes, we've had less secondary and third ball ups, which has helped clear the stoppages, so it's been pretty positive for us.
Did it speed the game up in any way?
It did, especially around the stoppages, which doesn't allow as many players to get around the ball, so therefore the secondary and third ball ups have disappeared.
What do you see as the overall benefits to the game?
I think the umpire can focus on communicating with players around the ball. Also his vision, as you would imagine, by the time you bounce the ball and then you come up, you lose sight of the players in the area. So there's a real positives, and I think from a playing point of view and from a coaching point of view, they can set their tactics around the stoppages that hopefully will assist the clearing of those stoppages.
Shane, will this continue for the rest of the season? If so, will it proceed into years to come?
We would like to think so. What we've put to the clubs at the moment is we'll continue until the end of the year, and we'll assess it in conjunction with the clubs then.
Very interesting to see just how it develops this season. But Nipper Christie, thanks to him for catching up with Shane Harris, the umpiring director of the SANFL. We're going down to have a listen to Brenton Phillips and just what he's telling his men.
They just fall on your back, okay? That's the sort of stuff we're looking for. If you go at the ball hard enough like that and commit yourself to go at the ball like that, they will fall on top of you in conditions like this. This is why you've got to get to the ball first, okay? They put Ciccarella into the middle because of that factor. Because he does like to get to the ball hard and first, we just got to be better. We've got to be better at getting hard and first to the contest, hard and first to the ball. Big fellas up forward, provide us with an option, okay? Provide us with an option, take a catch. I don't care if it slips out of your hands. I want to see both hands go up, Steve, and take a real dead set catch at it. If you spill it, we get Twitch over the base. Come on, boys, let's go. Other than that, Simon's got to start us. Simon, this contest is really important. You start us away, we get momentum going forward, and then we get it into that area. Do not allow someone to...
Yeah, well, it is very, very cold and very windy here, but Brenton Phillips is pretty happy with the way his team did perform in that first term, kicking against the breeze. They did have a lot of play up in their particular forward line. Now they will have the breeze in the second term. He's asked these players not to finesse, don't dodge, don't weave, don't overdo the handball, just 1 or 2 and bring the ball through centre half forward.
Thanks, Sodas. Stay with us. We will stop Sodas from talking about the weather in a moment. But first, we'll go to this week's winner in our tipping competition. You can enter every week. abc.net.au/SA Footy. Wayne Seagram will win tickets to an SANFL game for tipping the round. Last round, Kathy Wisekamp leads the way from Brenton, and dear old Peter Pan is slipping down. Never mind, he's still up there in the top 10. We look at the ABC Sports tipping, and yes, it's all very close as usual. I just dropped out of a game last week, but hopefully, well, a lot of people tipped Sturt this afternoon. A little bit of a surprise. I suppose you'd have to back the Eagles. But speaking of the double blues, Sodas has got the injured double blue in Damien Squire with him on the boundary.
Thanks, Neil. Damien, against the breeze, a pretty good start.
Yeah, boys look like they showed a bit of desperation and want to get in front and get hold of the ball first, which you've got to do in these conditions.
A couple of key players out yourself, Matthew Powell and also Benny Nelson. The young boys are going to need to do it today.
Certainly. There's a couple of lads there that have been deserved the opportunity, and now they've got it, so hopefully they do well.
And how far away are you, Squizzy?
Next Friday night, Mark.
Beautiful. See you then.
Will do. Thanks, mate.
Thanks for that, Sodas. Can you tell that he once played with the Double Blues? Yes. Well, there's some instructions for young Pierce from Brad Ryan, one of the assistant coaches with the Double Blues. In 10 seconds or less, tell us, Ben, what he's saying.
He's saying, keep going. You're doing a great job. He's maybe talking a bit about the positioning of his body there on the wing. He's let his player get in front at the footy a couple of times, but I've been really impressed with Pierce today. He's quick. He's got great hands off the ground, and he's getting that confidence to actually get in at the footy.
Well, you heard Brenton Phillips say it starts with Simon Feast in the middle. Let's go with the second quarter.
He'll be up against Brett O'Hara, second term, this NFL football, round 5. Feast got it down. They dive on the football. Spears on. He's the clean number 28, the clean skin out there at the moment, Luke Spear.
Michael, just in case anyone is wondering, you see a number 64 running around for Sturt. It's actually Brant Chambers who's changed his number from 7.
Good spotting, Mark. Eagles go for it. Inkster! Takes a beauty. Goes with the right boot. Looks for Filippo. Can't take the mark. Curtis in hard. What a grab by Inkster at half forward. He loves to fly.
That's a great grab, isn't it? He's taken that new fresh ball, which I think they're going to use every term here today, and grabbed it beautifully.
Good idea. Cooper spreads it to half-back. Pierce, how will he get around? Decides to throw it on the boot. Crowd like that. Loose ball. Here's a foot race. Chambers in number 64. Closing Pedler down. Good tackle. Umpire doesn't reward it. Ball held in close. They cluster. A baller.
Wasn't that a fantastic mark by Inkster? Here we can see it again, taking the dry ball, eyes on the footy the whole time, and a really good grab. And here's the tackle. Unlucky not to be rewarded there, Brent Chambers.
Well, in the meantime, the ball is out on the full, and the free kick will go to Tim Wetherill, who's got not too much room there. There he is, number 6. Shared the 2002 McGarry medal with a teammate playing today, Jade Sheedy. Well, he does have a light football, a new one. Kicks it long. O'Hara tried to go the thump. Ball in dispute. Eagles will be desperate to find the line. Fruin was there. He threw himself on the footy, and the umpires have really relaxed that rule in the last 4 or 5 weeks, Ben. They don't ping the bloke underneath.
They have, and I guess there it was probably held in by a Sturt player as well, just trying to milk the free kick. But yeah, look, you know, I guess what they want is to keep the game going, keep the game flowing. So maybe it might be a better idea if they actually played a few more of those.
Umpire throws it up, kept in by Chambers. Fiacci can't get through. The tackling has really been a feature.
Michael, some concern for Sturt with Cameron Roberts came back into the side with a groin injury. He's just aggravated that again in the first term. The slippery ground wouldn't help that. He's just warming up again now, but he could be in a bit of trouble and may miss the rest of the match.
It's not the first time he's struggled with a groin, is it, Sodas? It's a long-term complaint for Roberts.
Yeah, certainly has. He struggled with a bit of osteitis pubis over the years, and actually had a muscle that calcified and sort of formed a bone in his leg as well, which he struggled with.
Cameron Roberts trying to stretch things out on the boundary line. Disappointed look in his eye, and as you can see, the weather, or at least the wind, having an effect on the ball. It just didn't even carry towards 50. Fruin held it in. Now Wicks with the tackle. That looked high. Umpire calling play on. Eventually over the line. That'll benefit everybody. We'll just open it up a bit.
I think in that first quarter we only really saw one pack grab that I can remember from Brant Chambers early, and you know, we've seen the Eagles take one start of the quarter, but now that footy's got a bit of water on it. I don't think we'll see too many more. It's all up to the Crummers now.
Just a bit of glue on it. That's what you need. Certainly not going to dry out this afternoon, as we see. Just that wind blowing, and you can just feel it in the air. It's not going to get any warmer, and it's not going to get any drier. Toya did well out of the pack, managed to get it outside defensive 50. McKenzie was first there for the Eagles. Now Spear, but it's over the line. See, every yard, expensive real estate out there this afternoon, Ben.
Yep, both teams just aiming to push the footy forward. The value of a long kick on a day like this is, you know, can't be underrated.
O'Hara and Feast do a little bit of a dance. Not really worried about the ball, it seems. Cooper was. Belted it inside 50. White got to the front. Over the back came the punch. White strong in over the ball. Forced it clear off the ground from Richardson. And Chambers just slapped it across. And he's missed the snap.
No throw. Gee, I thought he just scooped it up there.
Well, in the end, we just have a look at that goal umpire camp. And that was Burton, the player on the ground. Played with the club for 8 years, and this is his first match in the league side. And I know his teammates are very, very excited for him.
That ball out of bounds on the full. There's John Floriani. And he's been sitting on the pine, you can tell. Long kick in, and has hit the behind post on the full. So out of bounds on the full. Free kick will go to Mark McKenzie. Difficult area for McKenzie to work in. Very heavy on the outer side, particularly down in both pockets. McKenzie kicks it long. And O'Hara should be paid that mark in front. Good work in front of Feast. O'Hara's game continues to prosper. Floriani still waiting there as Toya's kick is O'Hara. Kicked by Jarvis, taken by Powell, who tries to crash his way through. Colville tries to win the hard ball, along with Whiteman. And Whiteman, who's an expert hard ball get man. And Joey Pedler off down there, Sodas.
Yeah, Ron Fuller just opting for a change. A little bit of height difference there, so he's brought on John Floriani.
Runs nice and close to the ground, Floriani. He'll be suited by these conditions. Toya, who's working extremely hard. So too Spear. Did he have prior opportunity? He's tackled by Wicks and Cooper. And that's about the end of Luke Spear's cleanliness today.
That was a great take.
Good take. Ruckman do battle. Feast, kick smothered. Sheedy was the kicker. Curtis couldn't get it. Well played, Colville. Inkster. Sikalella. Ball in dispute. Outer side now with Inkster. Floriani for his first touch of the day. Kicks it long. Spear's got a fly. Feast did too. Code just threw the head up and got a free kick for a high tackle against Powell. Some players become experts at throwing that neck back and getting a free kick in the clinches. Tim Weatherall is one of those players. Marked by Beveridge onto Sheedy. Double Blues on a full burst. Long kick in. Burton and Potter. Potter with body strength worked it to the line. Boundary throw in. 7 minutes gone. 3 points in favour of the Eagles.
That pocket being churned up beautifully down there. The mud, you know, the wings and the pockets certainly are have been pretty damaged. And that cricket pitch in the middle, a lot of water, a lot of mud.
Ball back into play. Whiteman somehow got it forward. Richardson, I'm sure that is, but you can't tell for the mud that's on his back. Still, it's in dispute. White off the ground. Umpire said that was okay. Weatherall doggedly trying to get the ball. Still, it's on the ground. Umpire will come in and we'll get another throw up. Merriman will have to surrender it. White and O'Hara. O'Hara with the punch. Rugolo off the ground. Chambers. Now Wicks, outside 50, turns around, gives it back to the right foot of Cooper, up to the goal square, punched away. Now here's Brad Chambers, and he can't get foot to ball. In the end, it's rushed through. Well, still, the weather, the mud having an effect on Brad Chambers then. He just couldn't quite get his footing to get a kick away, and that was great work from Stokes, who came in with a tackle late.
Great vision from our umpire cam there.
Into the teeth of that breeze, the ball holds up. Colville roving to Sikalala, who just threw it on the boot. Good collect by McKenzie, who uses Rugolo. I'd like to have that one back. A worm burner. A few worms out there today, I think. Sheedy kicks it inside 50. Fruin takes the mark, just judged it better. Got a push from Burton, not too much in that. Fruin wants to spread it to the near side of the ground. Potter will look for Powell. Powell and Pearce. Pearce did well, knocked it down. Quick recovery skills in the conditions. Lovely bit of play by Pearce. Didn't kick it to anyone, just threw it on the boot. Stokes Got the handball away. Hall underground to Fruin. Pearce's good tackle. Did he have the football? No. Free kick will go against the young man. It'll go to Brent Fruin.
Very good shepherd there by Brant Chambers, allowing Pearce to pick the footy up. We see the quick kick around the body. Just missed Brant Chambers there, but off the screen, holding off a couple of Eagles players.
We're going to have some trouble if it starts pouring with rain. We're hardly picking them at the moment as Fruin kicks and Code takes a nice mark in front. They turn it over. Code coming around. Good long kick. White's the target. Can't hold on the big man. Just wrestled his way to the front. Did all the hard work and couldn't hold on.
It was just at this stage, you'd think 6 or 7 goals would win this match, wouldn't you?
I really think that's about all it will take too.
Sikalala tries to shake clear. In the end, surrenders. Richardson out of the pack. Long. Chambers will take the mark in the pocket. Difficult angle. He'll look up quickly and see what he's got as options. No, he won't. He's decided, I can kick this. At least the wind has died, so it's not perhaps as difficult a kick as it might have been at one stage. But Chambers, fortuitously in the right position there. I do mean fortuitous. He thinks about laying it across the boot, and that's what he's going to do by the looks of that shot. Chambers, this will either go out on the full or straight through the middle. And it goes straight through the middle. So well done to the Double Blues. It was Richardson at the base of the pack, just getting the ball forward. And right place, right time. Kicking truly, Brant Chambers.
Brant Chambers looking as though he is the one today, the go-to man for Sturt, and looks as though he's the one causing the Eagles to trouble up forward. See that quick kick in, and like you said, fortuitous in the fact that he dropped off the back there, and well finished with the banana kick.
Oh, if it were Queensland today. It's not quite those conditions.
Maybe after a big monsoonal downpour, Neil. Chambers is second and Sturt second. About to say a secondary ball up as O'Hara tries to get through, and we'll get that now. No clear centre break. Brett O'Hara spent a bit of time on the bench. Over the top, good thump away. Code. Free kick over the shoulder. It'll go to Merriman. Merriman's quick handball to Stokes. Stokes thought about going to O'Hara, but he was just intent on getting off the ground. Short kick finds Spear. Spear goes with the left footer. Sits it up high. Inkster will fly. Well done by Beveridge. Knocked it to ground. Rugolo just dragged the football back in. The umpire's not going to pay a free kick. They've set a precedent, Ben. They really don't want to start pinging one now.
Exactly. They're not going to pay those, are they, Michael? I mean, maybe last year, early in the season, they were just paying every one of them, but no, not today.
O'Hara getting a wipe down. Just a second ago. Weatherall just throws himself into the contest. It is an ugly pack of players. We'll see plenty of that today. Conditions ordinary at best at Unley. Tim Weatherall, you'd expect him to be completely soaked with mud by the end of the day. The Double Blues by 2 points. The Eagles goal kickers Luke Toyer and Sam Filippo. Chambers with both for the Double Blues. Wicks, well, not a good knock. Found Inkster to the muddied Stokes. Stokes off a step. Good mark, Spear. Thinks about playing on. Gives it over to Filippo. Filippo on the left has kicked another goal for the Eagles. Sam Filippo gets his second. Well, I thought Spear might have done the wrong thing. Should have gone back and had a kick. He knew what he was doing.
He did. And Filippo, you like those ones getting the handball running into an open goal, and he's done well with his second goal. We see the handball off there. Filippo making no mistake, and well finished. Eagles back in front by 4 points.
Really seems to undo a lot of the good work that the Double Blues had done in building up pressure, and they had the ball down there several times, but weren't able to convert perhaps with more authority. So here's Stokes out of the middle. The Eagles with another opportunity perhaps. That's a good kick out in front of Spear. Takes the chest mark, looks around onto the right foot, which is non-preferred. You wouldn't have been able to guess that from the kick. Here's Beveridge, a former Eagle. Drives the ball out to the far side of the ground. The Double Blues are running. Off the half-back line comes Scott Toms. Forward of the play, he's got a couple of players. One of them was Code. Code opts to go long with the kick. Down towards half forward, Fruin overran it. The hand pass came out to Wicks. That was a brilliant little give. And Wicks up inside forward 50 quickly for the Double Blues. Ball to ground. Pedler was one of the players in there. Potter's another one. And anybody's guess who's actually got the ball. The umpire will eventually have it. There's no doubt about that. Josh Richardson. Say it quickly, it's impossible. Well, again, it's in close. Fiacci was the player who picked it up for the Eagles, and he was promptly and unceremoniously dumped into the mud. Pedler on the sideline, just waiting his time. He's still got the tracksuit top on, so you wouldn't think it was imminent. Here's Richardson, managed, to keep it in. They're going to throw in.
Sorry, Neil, I think you'd be leaving that tracksuit top on as long as you could today. I don't think you'd take it off until you actually stepped on the ground.
There's several huge boggy patches out there, and the ball being thrown into one of them. And umpires will come in again, separate the players, throw the ball up, and please clear it away, Michael.
Do my best, Neil. Chambers in ruck. Ball knocked down by Fruin. Surely a free kick to the Eagles. It'll go to Fiacci. I think that's Fiacci. You can't see his number. And Peter Fiacci against Weatherall.
Giving a feel away today.
Got it off to Toya, who got it to Stokes. Looks like he's in the black and white minstrel show, Stokes. He's kicked to the very clean McLean. Taken by Pearce. And that ball desperately kept back in, and it'll be a free kick. It'll go to Whiteman for a push. Thanks, Neil. Whiteman kicks a very slippery, heavy ball to the top of the square. No one can take the mark. Good hands. It comes out to Cooper, and Cooper kicks a goal. Lovely clean hands by Burton, who got it to Cooper, and the Double Blues get their third.
Double Blues back in front now by 4 points. Sorry, I said before the Eagles are up by 4. They're actually up by 2. See the handball out the back. Cooper in space. Lovely finish with, as you can hear, that slap from the ball every time it's kicked. It is becoming a heavy ball and going straight over the top of the umpire there, the goal umpire. And Sturt back in front by 4 points. Cooper's first goal of the afternoon.
Matty Cooper, used to these sort of conditions, came from the Hills. Played Sturt Juniors, then went up to the Hills, was very successful up there, won a couple of male medals in the Hills League before returning to Sturt. Ball down to half forward from Sheedy out of the middle. That looked to be high. Oliver wasn't called for it. Now the umpire will play, and in the back it's Richardson, one of the smallest players on the ground, very low to the ground, and that time kissing the ground. Oh, straight in the back from Potter. So Richardson looks up for a lead. McLean was one of the players. It came to the front from Feast with the fist, and the umpire will come in and separate the players yet again. Moggy, 2,147 bounces thus far.
Yeah, spot on, Neil.
Interested to know who's got the highest stat, because I reckon it might be Ciccarello, who comes out of the pack and goes looking for Inkster, who did well, got his player out of the way and then couldn't take the chest mark. Colville is the redhead over the ball. Sturt with the ball in close. Sheedy with the final hand pass to Beveridge. Drives it inside forward 50, but out on the full.
Out to the barbecue area.
Be a good spot over there, wouldn't it? Cooking sausages and steaks today.
You're right there, Neil. Justin Ciccarello 15, Luke Toya 12.
Paul with the kick. At the front, Westbrook. Sheedy at the back did the spoiling. Another ball up.
Michael, Ronnie Fuller opting for a change. He's brought Joe Pedler on to Brant Chambers, who's already kicked 2, and given Brent Fruin a rest. So I think perhaps thinking that Pedler might be a little more agile in these conditions.
Thanks, Mark. Ball going nowhere on the outer side. Well, the Eagles have found a way to goal, but Sturt kicked a couple in this term. Ball close to the line. Stokes taken there by Weatherall. And both the midgets of either side just wait for that ball to be thrown back in.
A few boys changing their jumpers every time they come off the boundary. It's going to make it even more difficult for you boys.
We'll soldier on, Ben. 18 minutes gone, 18 and a half minutes gone. The Double Blues lead by 4 points. We've had 4 lead changes so far in the match. There's Luke Toya with the long sleeves on. The jumper will get very heavy before the end of the day.
And Michael, while those jumpers are getting heavy, Brent Fruin has opted to take his dirty, muddy one off, and he's going to be wearing 37 when he returns.
That's official nightmare. Thanks, Mark. Free kick to the Eagles. Westbrook couldn't hold on to it. Was that advantage taken by Powell? Comes through. Westbrook got it back to Fiacci. On to Toya as the rain comes pelting down. Sheedy, good tackle. Sikalella. Did he get rid of it? Did he have time? Umpire, let's play go. Another ball up. Ball up 2,256. 19 minutes gone. The Double Blues by 4 points.
Tell you what, you might be a boutique ground, but there's not great facilities for the people watching at the moment. It's very cold, and as you said, Michael, the rain's starting to come down. Here's McKenzie for the Eagles, not the greatest of kicks. Over the back, Jarvis looked to punch the ball. Now it comes inside to Inkster. Off the right foot, just belts it forward as best he can. Interesting contest now developing in front of goal. One of them was Code. Now Pearce with electrifying pace. Clears the ball nicely. Beautiful kick to Beveridge. Opens up for the Double Blues through the middle of the ground. Cooper, a long kick off the left foot. This time he goes shorter. Umpire calls play on. Still it's in tight. The Eagles get it through Pedler. Off the right foot, Pedler did well. Was only holding onto the ball with one hand. Colville looks up, nothing coming towards him. He goes inside, dangerous kick, great mark in the end. And Westbrook will take the kick as soon as he can get away from Beveridge, who's not making it easy to say the least. Inkster in a bit of space ahead of him. Not that close to him. Whiteman took the kick. Now the Double Blues force another mistake. Richardson went back into trouble. Umpire calls holding the ball. There was
Looked a bit high.
Could have been a bit shoulder. Another look, well, you can't really see. Potter was the tough man making the tackle, and he is a hard man, Potter. Comes to this flank. From behind, the punch will come from Pearce. He's done well in his first match. Down the boundary, second match, in fact, for Pearce. Down the boundary line with the kick was Weatherall. And the Double Blues scrape another 20 metres further forward as the rain is falling at Unley.
That little kick by Tim Weatherall was only his second, surprisingly, and the first one was a free.
Ball back into play. The Ruckman do a bit of a dance, and Feast has the better of it. It comes to the back. Sheedy with the kick out of the pack into a bit of space. Inside Richardson. Couldn't pick it up. Now the ball on the ground. Colville slides in, waiting. He's hatching it, say the Double Blues. And the umpire will come in and choose to throw it up.
Got to stick to their guns now, these umpires.
They just aren't paying them, are they?
Gavin Colville there. Taken away by Sikalella. Loose ball to be won. Toya to Floriani. Floriani with a kick down the wing. It holds up in the breeze. Jarvis just got Spear out of the play. Well done by Jarvis. Stokes, just a loose boot. Found the line. Ben, I'll pose you a question. If the Double Blues have been training on this ground during the course of the week at any time, they may just run out of legs. It's pretty heavy out there. Whereas Woodville, West Torrens, the ground's pretty dry.
Yeah, I think it's more a case of what's happened today, though. The reserves certainly chewed it up, and it's just got worse and worse as the game goes on. So, yeah, I don't think they'll be training too much in the actual pockets and the wings where it's really, really boggy.
Just keep it to the centre where the ground's not quite so heavy. Good point. Another ball up, 22 minutes gone. Sturt by 4 points. In a real arm wrestle at Unley Oval of round 12 SANFL footy on ABC television. Whiteman, perhaps a free kick. Umpires have let it go. Loose kick out, taken by Cooper. Chopped off by Colville. Just went back, got it again. Whiteman, just with the flight. We know he's got courage. Ducks the head. Spear gets him in a tackle. Not a spear tackle, but a good tackle. Takes him to ground. Another ball up.
A little bit of a dry area here out here on the flank, and
is that sun?
I don't think. Is it sun? Well, drying out the rest of the ground.
Toya through traffic. Colville sold him back into trouble. Floriani dropped the footy. Umpire on the blind side. Good tackle by Cooper. McKenzie. Boy, is it tough out there. Ball kick. Powell. Knocked away by Wicks. Got it back to Rigolo. He's tackled. Plenty of tackles out there. Sikalella, one way, this way. It goes to McKenzie. Lovely handball. McKenzie lets himself down with a kick. Been marked by Scott Toms at halfback.
So Matthew Scott Toms for the Double Blues. Chance to, well, they won't take any risks, so kick it down the line. He looks for Chambers. Fake the push in the back. That was some sort of hand pass by McKenzie. Got it to Stokes, inside to Rugolo. Rugolo goes up forward with a long kick inside forward 50. Code in best position, takes the mark for the Double Blues. Has a look to the far side of the ground. That's the way he goes with the poorest kick we've seen today. And that's saying something in these conditions. Double Blues get it away though. Jarvis will clear from defence. just kicks it out towards centre wing. I think he may have been aiming for Sheedy. He ended up putting it into a bit of space, and that man Daniel Wicks just allowed the ball to go over the line. The Double Blues lead by 4 points. We're into time on, second term at Unley. This is real footy, there's no doubt about that. There is mud out there to be seen everywhere, and Oliver at the back tries to push Big Lindsay out of the way. Didn't do it successfully. Lindsay brought it to the front, and then we'll get a throw up. Lindsay doing the flop on the Sturt opponent, and Sheedy. That would have done him no end of good, I'm sure. McKenzie out of the pack. Scott Toms releases the ball quickly towards centre wing. Almost the mark there to the Double Blues, but ball to ground Merriman for the Eagles. Goes short, goes too short. Another interception, this time by Whiteman, was prominent early, then a bit quiet. Now he's back in the thick of the action. Tough man, Andrew Whiteman, down towards half forward. Well rode by Clun. Clun boots it inside, forward 50. Going across Richardson, he's been prominent as well for the Double Blues up forward. Just doing a lot of this, a lot of tackling, a lot of harassing, and a lot of forcing another ball up. Burton running away from that little clash. Ball just palmed down again by Lindsay, and in this situation you would think Ruckman are almost, if they get a shot at it, just thump the ball 10 metres clear, Ben.
Yeah, clear it out. I mean, we've talked about the fact that the wind is going to the right of screen, but up at the other end, it's a lot clearer, not as much mud, so maybe an advantage to the team kicking uphill.
Good point, Ben. How did you arrive at that one?
Well, there's a lot of mud down that end and not so much mud up the other end.
Good work. That's the goal square at the other end.
It's a little bit drier.
Well, if it's uphill too, I suppose the water's flowing to one end, isn't it?
Thank goodness we haven't had too much water, but it's half time at Unley Oval. And the Double Blues, Sturt, they lead 3-4-22 to the Eagles, 3 goals.